The Devils, J-dawg back here with another fucking video for you. Today's topic wanted to discuss how do you rank an album, like rating the numbers. And it got brought back up to me because actually it was just a quick question. I typed it up here. Actually, let me bring it right up. Now my phone this time I actually copied it and saved it. Just real quick. It was from Ricky J. Shout out, brah brah. And he said, "How about some album rankings?" Now I'm assuming he just wanted me to kind of go over like I don't know, a bunch of albums that I like, don't like, maybe stuff checked out in 2021 and like give it my review or whatever. So wasn't gonna, not necessarily going to do that. Maybe a little bit here. Just give you an example of what I mean by the definition. But this video is to define like that the scale. Reaper and I actually talked about it a little bit on one of the Hellcasts we did a little bit ago. It's been posted. I don't know. He posted. It was sometime last year. I can't remember which one it was. I don't remember what he titled it, but whatever. And I think he thought my definition of it was kind of funny, which I wasn't even saying it to be funny. I just thought it was kind of like, for me, always common knowledge. And the thing is, I've always used this definition kind of like it's the same thing as like when you're talking to guys, whatever you're rating a chick, like what's the lowest chick you would fucking bang, right? I use the same scale on albums that I like. Like if I had to rank it on numbers, so on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the absolute best, right? So if you're talking about chicks, the absolute hottest fucking chick imaginable, and 1 being what most people would define as a 1. They're like, oh, dude, she's ugly as fuck. I don't, I don't look at it like that. I look at 1 as she's on the scale. That's the lowest I would fucking go. Like she's just barely making it, but maybe I'd have like a one night stand, right? So kind of like same with metal records. 10 being the best fucking at like this is up there with my favorite albums of all time, and 1 being I'm not going to shut it off, but I'm not going to buy it either. And then everything in between there. So like if you get like a 7 or an 8, I was reviewing some of the albums on the Hellcast. I forget what they put on or whatever. I was giving 7 8s, and I think I made a kind of what I described as what I thought about it is like yeah, the 7 or 8 that's actually pretty damn fucking good. Like for example, if you're chasing down fucking tail and you get a 7 or 8, that's pretty good. How often do you get a fucking 10? Like there's very few guys that ever get a fucking 10, right? So same thing. So like a couple examples, what I would say, like for example, what's a 10 to me? Like looking at my top favorite albums video, any of those would be 10. So Carcass, Wicked Putrefaction, to me that's a 10. Carcass, Symphonies of Sickness, that's a 10. Uh, uh, Repulsion, Horrified, that's a 10. Other albums are not even in there. I think it's 10. It's Rigor Mortis self-titled album. That to me is a 10. Fucking Deicide, first 4 Deicides, all are 10s. Um, Immolation, Dawn of Possession, that's a 10. Suffocation, Human Waste, that's a 10. Those to me are fucking 10s. Like Hemorrhage is Anatomical Infernal album, the 3rd record. That to me is a fucking 10. That's the first one I heard too. It's probably my favorite. Maybe I gotta do a Hemorrhage video one of these days too because I got a bunch of Hemorrhage shit. But and a lot of the Medic Cult, it's the same 10. But like so, like what's an example of a 1 for me? A 1 would be like Morbid Angel, Heretic. That album fucking sucks in my opinion. It's just boring as hell. But I wouldn't be like that. Remember that Hellcast episode? If you ever guys saw it, like that Reaper was playing that deathcore crap to me, metalcore, whatever the fuck it was, all that garbage I never even heard of before. It's better than that. I would listen to it over that. So like that crap, if it was on, like let's say I check something out the shop and it's something that crap, I would just shut it off. I was like, I'm not even listening to this. This is giving me a headache. So it's on the scale of Morbid Angel Heartache, but I wouldn't play it again, or I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't go out and buy it because that album, yes, I'd probably give that a 1, maybe a 2. Two's like, yeah, it's just it's kind of self-explanatory, right? A little bit better than a 1, but definitely at the bottom of the barrel, definitely not buying. Like a 0, I would give like what I would give a fucking 0 is like Mayhem Grand Declaration of War. I would say that's a fucking definitely a 0. Uh, yeah, I thought that album was terrible. That's why I guess I gotta check out some of the later Mayhems. People put in the comments like, oh, some of the later ones. I knew Attila came back in the band. They're like, oh, you should check them out. You might like them, J-dawg. So yeah, maybe I will. But a lot of times, like a band does something like that. Once you throw in kind of when you put in your poser card and show your true colors, you're off limits. I'm never checking you out again. You know what I mean? I like your previous albums, and yeah, you're off the books now. I mean, there's been exceptions. Go back and bands have kind of redeemed themselves. But when you put out an album that I just think is that awful, it's kind of like I'm not even checking out the rest. But I hear maybe I have to. So, but yeah, Mayhem Grand Declaration of War, that's a 0. All that deathcore, metalcore crap that Reaper played me, I don't even know any of the band's names. That'd be a fucking 0. Trying to think of like mid tier stuff, like threes and fours for me, like stuff that I think is okay, kind of like it, but it's something I'm playing often. Um, Maybe like Black Sabbath, the Dio era, the Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules. I know that's some of people's favorite shit. I kind of like it. I own the LPs. Yeah. I mean, I listen to it maybe once every shit. Actually, last time I probably listened to those albums, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, maybe even longer. I think they're okay, but yeah, I don't think they suck. I own them. But yeah, so I'd probably rate those as about a 3 or a 4. So I kind of and a good I've for a 7 or 8. What would be like a 7 then? Like the probably the new Cannibal Corpse that came out. It wasn't my favorite album of all time, but I mean favorite band of all time, and I would give that probably about a 7 or 8. Um, yeah, I would say that's about a 7 or 8. The new Nunslaughter, I'd give that about an 8. Keep in mind, tens are stuff like I said, some of your favorites. Like this is like some of my favorite stuff of all time. That's like it's pretty hard to get a 10. And nines like it's just teetering on there. You know what I mean? So like yeah, so those would be some 7, 8s, like a 5, like kind of in the middle. Like yeah, it's good. What would be a fucking 5 for me? A 5 for me would probably be like Suffocation Breeding the Spawn. I do like that album. A lot of people complain about the sound quality. The sound quality on it actually these days doesn't bother me that much. I kind of like how it's muddy and raw. But the main thing I do notice about the songs aren't very memorable. It's every time I listen to that album, and I've heard it many times, is it's kind of a new listen every time. Like these songs kind of all sound the fucking same on there, as opposed to like Effigy of the Forgotten and Human Waste and even the EP Despise the Sun. I don't think those songs sound alike at all. Because the what is that? Pierce from Within. That's probably about a 5 as well. I really like the title track, Pierce from Within. The rest of the songs, some of the songs they got too much of a slow breakdown for me, where I'm like, these parts are kind of boring. So there's parts that I really really like. Like, oh, this is fucking great. This sounds awesome. Like I said, the title track I think is really good. Then there's some parts where it's just that dun, 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 dun. It's just like too fucking slow. I'm like, just pick up the goddamn pace, guys. These really slow parts are boring as fuck. So probably yeah, Breathe the Spawn, Pierce from Within. Those would be about 5s, and I own those albums, and I listen to those. I actually listened to both those actually semi recently, maybe a few months ago, and then the last time prior to that was maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So definitely more than the Black Sabbath Dio years ones. Listen to more often than that. Actually, my favorite Black Sabbath Dio album is actually probably Dehumanizer, which a lot of people always say Heaven or Hell and Mob Rules. I just thought Dehumanizer was a little bit more upbeat. Actually, Dehumanizer is probably a 5 for me. So like Heaven and Hell Mob Rules, yeah, like I said, 3 or 4, and then Dehumanizer is probably a 5, and then the classic Ozzy albums. So would I rank those for me? Probably a 7 or 8, with the exception of Never Say Die. I like the all the even Technical Ecstasy. I like those albums. There's like one song on Technical Ecstasy I didn't like, but Technical Ecstasy Down, I like those albums actually quite a lot actually. So yeah, I would give those about a 7 or 8. Definitely not my all-time favorite albums, so not tens, but I can see easily why someone would give them a 10 if someone's like, "This is my favorite." I was like, "It makes sense. I definitely get it." So yeah, those would be about 7, 8s for me. Slayer shirt. So Slayer Show No Mercy. Actually, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. That's a 10 for sure. A fucking 10. Matter of fact, I would give all the Slayer records that I like, Show No Mercy, Hell Awaits, and Rain of Blood. South of Heaven Up, I fucking don't like. I think South of Heaven is boring as shit. I think it's got 1 or 2 songs on it I like, and then the rest I just thought it was tame as hell compared to Rain of Blood. So the first 3 is what I like, and then Haunting in Chapel EP. Actually, I'd give all those 10s. Yeah, those are definitely some of my favorite music of all time. So yeah, the first 3 Slayers LPs and the EP, the Live Undead album. I fucking love that. Even though it's kind of like a fake live recording from what I've been told, but probably my favorite live album of all time. Definitely one of them, if not that. Probably between that and Ozzy Osbourne "Speak of the Devil." That's another one of my favorite live recordings. And Exodus. What's the title? It was recorded in the '90s. Paul Bailoff back. Fuck, what can I think of it? Another Lesson in Violence, I think it's called. Just like the song. It's all just Bonded by Blood songs, and the Impalers on there, the demo song. But I was recorded in what, 95, 96. That's one of my favorite live albums too. Kind of off the subject, but little fun fact in case you happen to give a fuck. So yeah, that's how you rank goddamn albums properly. God damn it! If you put a fucking 1, that doesn't mean that you shut it off. it means it's just the lowest you would fucking go, right? It's kind of like, yeah, this chick, she's a 1. Definitely want to fucking marry her, but I'll probably take a blowjob, and that's about it. A 0 means I'm not even gonna fucking. This is like qualified fucking a guy. I'm not. This is not even an option. Like some fucking Rosie O'Donnell looking fucking chud, right? Not even an option. Not even with beer goggles. Not if I was smashed onto my skull, I wouldn't be able to get it up on that, right? Same kind of thing. That's what a mayhem grand declaration of war is. A fucking Rosie O'Donnell. Wouldn't even stick my dick in that thing if that was the last thing on earth, right? So there you have it. That's how you rank albums. So when you leave in the comments in there, if you're gonna rank shit, use that ranking system of how you rate stuff and what numbers. And from here on out, hopefully that starts a new trend in the metal world. That's how you rank a goddamn album properly. That's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.